Now, if you always feel like studying is a death sentence, this video is for you, because right here I'm going to be teaching you how exactly you can actually start making studying fun. And on this video I'm going to change your mindset totally on what studying is and how to actually change everything. And actually what worked for me, because I hated studying before. I'm going to share my personal experiences. I'm going to be sharing what actually worked for me that actually changed everything. So first of all, I would like to start with my personal experience. When I was in junior school, they call it junior school in Nigeria, junior secondary school, I hated studying a lot. Studying was like a chore. Like, I didn't want to study at all because I was so overwhelmed with the amount of pages in the book, and it felt so boring to me. And whenever someone tells me to study, it seems as if the person hates me and doesn't want me to do other things I want to do, because I felt like studying then was actually going to stop me from doing the things I want, because I'm someone that likes doing something with my hand. I love working with something. I love discovering something, maybe checking out the phone, like that is faulty, and how to repair it or something. I was actually someone like that. But then I hated studying a lot, and without actually me imbibing the habit of studying or reading, I won't actually go to where I want in my academic journey. And this was when I was in GS1, GS2. Then when exam comes by, I don't study at all. I fail the exams. Of course, I was not really happy with my results then. It got to a time that I tried putting efforts into studying. I tried doing everything I could, but then this still work. I studied and eventually I didn't pass the exam. Then at that point, I started feeling like I'm dumb, because there are other students that do the same, that study and get the grades they wanted. But then I struggle to study, and when I go to the exam hall, everything just goes on like that. I end up not knowing anything or not answering the questions. And this happened to the extent that I repeated 2 classes, because my mates were in senior school already, SS1. Then I was told to go back to GS2. So I spent extra 2 years in junior school. So when my mates finished GSS3, I was still in SS1. My mates actually graduated from the university already when I entered the university. Then there was a moment in my secondary school that I actually read, and I remembered a little. Then I felt like, oh, I read this thing I could remember, but then it was not really clear to me. And I see students that read and they remember everything they need to remember, like they were the genius, they knew everything, they were so intelligent. Like, I used to feel like that. When after my secondary school, I read series of exams to get into the university, and I failed. I wrote my first JAMB, I failed it. I wrote my WAEC, I failed it. Then I started thinking about myself that, okay, is this how everything is going to be? I enrolled in the pre-degree, and I was lucky to get into the pre-degree program at OAU. Then that was when I started meeting new friends, and I started having a new perspective about studying. Then I started knowing that, okay, studying is not something that is a chore. Studying is something that is actually fun, and I can start doing it, because my friends then actually opened my eyes to a lot of things. And in fact, it got to a point that I loved it so much that I became so obsessed. And before that particular time, I tried all my best to actually study and just pick up a book and read. But then the pre-degree program in OAU, that was when everything changed. And I met great friends that actually helped me. And in fact, due to the desire that I had to improve, and there was a time in which I was studying. I was not getting what I was studying, but then I was just doing it because I wanted to do it, and I really wanted to. So I was just carrying the book. I was just looking at it, and I might not even understand what I was reading, but then I kept doing it. Then over time, I drew guidance from friends and YouTube. I was able to go through that phase, and I started enjoying studying. But then I had a problem, and the problem was, Okay, of course, I started studying, but then I found it very difficult to remember what I studied. And that was when, because at that point I studied, I'll put so much effort, but then getting to the exam hall, I won't remember anything. Then there's a problem. So I started searching for solutions to that particular problem. That was when I had all this knowledge that I'm sharing with you on this channel. And everything changed since then. I was able to get admission into OAU and I finished eventually. And by the time I got to OAU, so many things was actually unfolding itself. I was learning new things and I became better and better and better until I finished with a very good grade. I think second class upper also. So that was everything. So what actually made me move from hate studying to become someone that's so obsessed with studying? So the first thing is that my circle was something that actually changed me, my environment. Because as much as I don't like studying, or as much as I don't want to study, the circle around me are people that are obsessed with it. So, and due to the fact that I had a desire, I had to learn from them, and it actually changed me. So anytime they are studying, I have no choice than to study things. And again, the burning desire in me to actually pick up the book and study and keep doing what I need to do to just get what I need to get actually made me improve. So aside from you having your circle, you have to actually have the desire also to do it and want to do it. Another thing that actually contributed to how I moved from not liking study to started loving studying and became obsessed was that it's burning desire to improve. Because then I actually really desired to enter the university. I actually desired to get good grades like my colleagues. But then the requirement was that I needed to study, which I don't like it. So, and I know that before I can get the grades I want, to get into where I wanted, I need the requirements for me to study. So I had to do it no matter what. And due to the fact that I was so determined and I really wanted to, I kept pushing on and I kept going no matter how hard it was for me. And I've missed a lot of things when I was in secondary school because I was not paying attention, I was not doing it. But then after secondary school, I needed to enter the university, but then I had the knowledge gap because I don't know some certain things that I needed to know to pass the exams that would actually take me to the university. Because of this, and I knew that I really wanted to go to the university and I had that desire, I kept pushing on. I had so many knowledge gap. In fact, there are some of my textbooks that I knew nothing right from my SS1 to SS3. But then I actually sat down and I finished everything myself. And that was when I had to learn how to self-study. And that was when I had to learn how to actually study something myself without anybody's guidance. And with the help of YouTube also, I was able to get through that phase because it was really, really hard. Because there are times that I'll get the past questions I need to solve a particular problem and I discover that I don't know it, but then I still have to go back to those textbooks and read them from the beginning to the end, every single thing. And that was when I had to learn a lot of things about myself. That was when I had to learn how to actually study and all the informations I have right now and I'm sharing with you on this channel. So if you really want to literally improve yourself, and the change that I actually had, how I actually turned around everything, is the burning desire to change. The burning desire to change will actually take you, and if you keep asking yourself questions that how can I improve, it will actually take you out of that comfort zone to search, and don't be afraid to take action, because you have of course you have all the informations with you, and you start doubting yourself whether it's going to work. It's actually going to work if you are ready to take that action and take the leap and actually test it yourself and see. So don't be afraid to take the action on the information that you've had. Keep the desire burning and also be motivated. And another thing is that motivation cannot keep you, but then you have to be disciplined at some points, because of course you want to like studying. You are someone that doesn't like studying. There are points in which you'll be motivated to pick up the book, and there are points in which you might not feel like it, but then you still have to be disciplined, and you have to keep reminding yourself why you need to do it, and the desire to improve also. Those are the things that will actually push you, and those are the things that changed for me, because there are times that I'll be motivated, but then I'll just feel like, okay, why am I doing this? Why do I need to do this? And because of the thing that I needed from it, I need to take the action. Over time, I became interested in it and I loved it so much. And luckily enough, I eventually studied a course that I liked so much. And it's made the whole thing, although there were challenges on the way, there were obstacles on the way, but then I kept going and I kept pushing on because of that knowledge gap that I didn't have. So that was when I started learning how to actually sorting out textbooks for myself. I started learning things by myself without the guidance of any teacher or anything. I started using the internet and the textbooks around me to learn stuff myself. So until today, there are stuffs that I don't know, but I know that, okay, if I read it by myself and I have the desire and the interest in this thing, I can learn it. So that was actually what kept me going, even in my university days until I graduated. So that is everything about that. So I hope this video actually helped you a lot and you got so much value. If you did, please like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one.